Guess it's me, isn't it, James?
It's you today.
You're normally doing all this business, but it's me now.
Yep.
So welcome back, everyone, ladies and gents, nerds and others. I classify myself as a nerd, James, as I know that all the time, as do you. And it's time to get more nerdy because we have a cash game on our hands. We've got Liquid playing against Complexity. Only really did witmer show up, I suppose, in the previous map, which was Dust 2. So, James, give it to me. It's time for the score, esports pre-game breakdown, and you're in the hot seat. Let's go.
Okay, so Liquid versus Complexity on cash. I'm expecting Liquid to win. They're quite a disciplined team on this particular map. Complexity have 2 players playing from the UK. One has 130 ping down, and he got about 3 kills in the previous map. So I don't see how Complexity could win in this situation. Yes, witmer, he kind of dragged the carcass for a while. There's actually a game, Dan, that I used to watch on Channel 4, right? Where it's like some Middle Eastern or kind of South Asian country where a bunch of guys will be riding around on horses, like carrying a dead animal, and they have to like bring it to the other end or something. And that's basically what witmer's trying to do at the moment. I mean, and that's not because of the players, it's just because 2 are on a different continent, Dan. That's a bit of a problem. We saw the same thing from Winterfox as well.
Sounds like excuses to me, James.
For who?
For the people that you're making excuses for.
Buskashi, yes, Bus.
How does Producer Reese know that?
Producer Reese is a fountain of information. I never understood what the rules of the game were, but I found it interesting to watch anyway. Buskashi, yeah, we'll look into that a bit later.
Buskashi.
Yeah, let's take a dead goat from one side
Boom.
to the other. Down. Let's get a dead goat and play some Buskashi or whatever it's called. Wait, that's
Did you just say
no?
Bukake?
No.
You just said Bukake, I'm pretty sure.
Well, you just said that. I didn't say it.
You definitely did say it.
dephh is the last man standing, and you can talk now.
Well, as a team kill, EliGE is going to feel the accidental wrath of Hiko. Well, 16 HP.
I can't believe you just said that on stream.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
People don't know what that means.
Well, they're on the internet, Dad. It's not hard to find out.
Yeah, I think you're making a big deal over this, Jason, for no reason. Not really a big deal, is it? Everyone knows what it is. Let's be grown-ups here.
I didn't know what it was. I had to Google it. I was like, oh.
What, just now? No, you're just completely lying.
No, just not now.
Well, dephh is on a lot of ping, but he's able to get a very nifty headshot there, very swift frag onto Hiko, but you can see that the time is being played here by the CTs. And the problem is for dephh, he knows as soon as he tries to get at the player on the side, that the guy from Vent is going to try to peek out and remove him from the round. But what is this? How does dephh creep up on Hiko? What? How did that happen? How did they let this happen, James? This was not supposed to be like this. It was not supposed to be like this. It looks like dephh is the X factor, James, of the game. He knows the score.
Too much Buskashi, Dan.
He knows the score.
What is it called again, Reese?
The score esports.
Buskashi, okay.
Buskashi. Is there a Buskashi? Do they have a Buskashi second on the score esports app, James?
I don't know that it's esports, Dan. Although maybe somebody should make like a Madden equivalent of it, but with a dead goat instead of a bull, Dan. And horses. Well, we've got Complexity somehow on the winning end of that pistol round, and now they have dephh moving in with the Mac 10. So not the start that Liquid wanted, and maybe not the one they deserve either.
No, absolutely not. A bomb will go down here for Complexity. They're definitely a shoe-in to take this round. I wonder where that phrase came from. They're a shoe-in. I'm not sure. But looks like Complexity will slowly eliminate the remainder of the Team Liquid lineup that are hiding in all the nooks, cranny, crevices, and other words for the same thing.
Buskashi, literally, goat dragging in Persian, also known as Kokpar Kupkari and Ulak Tartish, is the Central Asian sport in which horse-mounted players attempt to drag a goat or calf carcass towards a goal. It is the national sport of Afghanistan, although it was banned under the Taliban regime. I would like to observe a game of Buskashi.
Well, okay, you have to wait, James, because currently we have a game of Counter-Strike to observe.
I suppose we do.
We have a good observer too, Sliggy. He's observing again. So he's been back for a couple of days.
Yeah.
He spent some time in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Now he's back.
He wanted to be amongst the brothers. Dan, that's what he said.
Is that what? Is that?
He wanted to be amongst the mandem.
Is that
with a can of super malt, Dan?
Is that verbatim? I think it sounds like something he would say. So it's just 5 pistols here for Liquid, no Kevlars. It's a complete full save. It cannot be more economic than this, really. And, I'm afraid that failure is assured. Although I suppose their expectation, it's not really failure because their expectation is to lose the round.
Yeah.
Indeed, it is actually victory, success chains, because they're playing economically at the expense of everything else.
Well, it depends on what their goals were, Dan. If they had goals which they weren't achieved,
money.
then it was a failure.
Exactly,
If their goals were to kill 2 people, Dan, they only killed 1.
James
in
Hiko,
that sense, they had failed.
Hiko's killed one of his teammates. He's got -1. He killed, obviously, I think it was EliGE on the pistol round. Somebody on the pistol round died by Hiko's hand. And he's yet to remedy this. He's still on -1 as a reminder.
I team killed dephh on a pistol round once.
And?
I found it amusing.
Great.
He didn't. But I did.
He probably deserved it.
Probably did. Liquid with 3 people towards B. There's lots of aggression towards there as well. Only adreN is in that position. He takes a EliGE down, but he'll get traded by Hiko. The problem is now, or the question is rather, what Complexity can do with this information. I don't know how many of those 3 players adreN saw, but Complexity should sense some weakness over towards the A side, and indeed they are going to execute onto it. We've got Molotovs flying all over the place. Some flashes coming in from the CT to slow down the push from the Ts, but it is a retake situation here for Liquid.
Yeah, it is a retake situation indeed. There's got a lot of nades here, they've got a lot of time to work with. Pretty much everybody's already there, so we can expect that coordination. They don't have to scramble too heavily. But the problem is that there's four Ts, and witmer's on the AWP. If he's anything like he was in the first map, I think there's going to be problems here. But hey, sancz is going to be throwing in problems himself already. witmer hitting 1 shot there as well. 1 for 1. Can he go 2 for 2? No. But his teammates are good for it. So pretty simple round there from Complexity to just break Liquid's first buy, and Liquid's having some troubles here, but at least Hiko got himself off the negatives.
It's a great start for Complexity.
It is.
It's a good start, Dan.
It is indeed.
You could also call it a great start. So witmer is going to be continuing on the AWP, although it's dephh who has been racking in the kills. In fairness, Liquid have had some eco round, so you know, can't really say who's doing the best just yet. EliGE under the boost. We'll see if Hiko makes his way over there. It appears that a boost may be attempted by one of these CTs. Indeed, there is said boost. EliGE going up top. Maybe hiding for a while. sancz is currently holding the angle. You can see he is making sure he is well covered. I like that. I respect it. It's good. So Complexity seem to be posturing for a bit of an A play here. We're looking for some harassment, but there is nobody to harass. They are fast on the people to harass. Although, that said, with the time they have taken, now Liquid are moving into position. Nitro and koosta getting taken down. So far, so good for the side. witmer's lost his AK though. We'll see if the seat, and down goes the EliGE. We'll see if the AWP can be rescued by Surreal. I think it can. Yes, it will be. Can he save it? He's on the site, I think, with the AWP, and adreN's taking down dephh, which saves EliGE. And now things are getting mad weird, because it's 3 versus 2. The bomb's moving into the B bomb site though, so Surreal is here alone. The bomb is going to get planted. And Complexity should be good for the round, because in this situation, EliGE is 7 HP, adreN with 9, and an AWP in tow. They really want to save this, although Surreal knows where the AWP is now. And, well, adreN can't save him anymore. And down goes EliGE. We'll see if the AWP can be rescued by Surreal. I think it can. Yes, it will be. So Complexity rescue the round, and Liquid will be back on the buy. So good damage, all things considered. Could have been great if Complexity could have held on to the AWP, but it was good nonetheless. So we'll see what the CT side can do now. koosta buying the AWP. Good nades on the CT side. witmer back on the AWP, obviously, as it was saved in the previous round. So we've got a 2-1-2 set up to start here for Liquid. Not going to have, I mean, often if the Ts are moving for a fast play into mid, then one person's probably going to get wrecked most of the time, but Liquid have a read that Complexity aren't planning to do such a thing. Therefore, they will have just one person over there. Ooh, koosta, unbeknownst to him, there are people in his vicinity. Will the shoulder peaks continue from sancz? They will, but koosta, that little shot through the smoke has scared him off, so he will not be able to capitalize.
koosta's AWP is called Natural Causes, James.
I like it.
Death by natural causes.
I like it.
Reminds me of a story we once told about producer Reese.
Oh yeah, that's true. Although the best AWP name is still Ralan, King of the Internet is the name of his AWP, and that is amazing to me.
All right. Well, being King of LAN is more important in CSGO, I would wager.
Although one of my AWPs is called Final Atomic Buster, which is actually the best name. The King of the Internet is a close second.
Well, we have the B split coming in from the complexity side. adreN's the only guy there really to... Oh, actually, sorry, he's...
Oh!
All the damage done by the nades as well, but Hiko goes down for free pretty much. adreN gets one kill, but EliGE comes in from heaven to take out dephh as well. So it looks like it's a good defense overall from Liquid so far. adreN, oh, unable to hold on there. Flash goes down there to allow EliGE to make another frag as the bomb cannot be planted. Nitro in the flank as well. This is pretty over right now, unless Surreal can do something pretty crazy, but he would have to get his total. Nitro in the flank as well. This is pretty over right now, unless Surreal can do something pretty crazy, but he would have to get his total for his first half score to actually win this round. Faking it out, they're going for the first frag. There it is, the transfer onto heaven. Not going to pan out as both players moved quickly to headshot, and that will be the round there for Liquid. So finally putting one on the board. Money has built quite decently for complexity, not significant, but it's decent. And so that will give them a couple buys before they have to eco, and Liquid, they need to string them together. If they get reset after this, they're going to be in for a lot of problems, but they have a good buy to hand.
If they lose this round, Dan, it's game over. It's done. It's a wrap. We're going to 3 matches.
That's your call.
That's my call. 6-1, it's game over then. I believe so. I don't really. Surreal going to get taken down by EliGE through the smoke. That's a good start. A very good start indeed, but it's still very early days here. And if complexity can answer back, and indeed they will. If koosta going down, then Liquid may have problems yet. Android X going to be dispatched of elsewhere. Once again, not making it to the Premier, Dan. But smoke's coming into CT, but there is still a player on the site here. And sancz may get himself a 1 versus 1. I think it's Hiko on the site. Let's see if he can defend. Indeed, Hiko will go down, but EliGE is back here with Silence and 4 once again to try and keep Liquid in the round. Bomb's getting planted. It's a bad plant for the T's. There's only 2 of them left, so they might have problems with this defense. That said, all the Liquid players coming in from CT.
Yeah, great HE there from witmer as well. Onto adreN. He's down to 30 points of health at this point. He'll try to flash his way in. He's got teammates to help him out as well as witmer and dephh try to play this, but there's no support there from witmer. He's able to get 1 frag, but he gets traded easily as there's just too many players wrapping onto his position. EliGE is he defusing?
AWP rescue.
Okay, I was just going to say, like, I thought that initially, but he did wait quite a while there. But there you go. AWP is indeed rescued, and the round we won by Liquid. And in your opinion, on the hot seat, the Score Esports pre-game breakdown hot seat, you said that if they lost that round, they would be essentially losing the map, even though it's only 7 rounds played at that point. You were daring to make that prediction, which I like, because usually you don't make any predictions. So I'm liking that you made a prediction at least. But they didn't lose that round, so we'll not see if you're going to be correct or not.
Yeah, they're still in a match, Dan, because they won the round. So, complexity, 3-round lead. It was 4, Dan, but then Liquid won a round, so now it's 3. That's how it works. Got Liquid. They've changed the setup towards mid again, and witmer just going for the snaps here. Hiko getting shut down very quickly indeed. witmer's reacting really quickly at the moment, actually. I like it, and koosta will be doing the same elsewhere, down to a 4 versus 4.
So, it is time. It is soon becoming time, at least, for complexity to start actually going onto a bomb site. There's a lot well, the early round is sort of passed at this point, and now it is time to get onto the bomb site, and they are collecting themselves towards A. But that is where all of Liquid are, apart from 1 player which they've left on B just in case. So it'll be a 3 versus 3, but they'll go in for the flash play to confirm what's going on, and indeed they'll lose 2 players. So that leaves Nitro alone, and that's a big problem there for Liquid. But if complexity are too slow, they are going to be buying time for koosta to come in to help Nitro. The Nitro, big job to do. Unfortunately, he won't find the weak player as he did back away. He was forced away by nades. Instead, he'll go for the wrap. What? Both players going down, Nitro and koosta, finding themselves angles there. Angles for days. And that's dephh now who has to plant. He's got 20 seconds to do that. Oh no! koosta roasts dephh. Oh dear, dephh. It's happened to me before as well. I feel your pain. I feel your pain. But there you go. It's the 3-5 Liquid stringing yet another round together. And the reality is that Complexity did not get the bomb down there. So not even a possibility for a plant, which they would perhaps have been thinking of a force buy had they got the plant, due to the fact that they would have been able to buy something, and the nades and so on are really low for, or rather, sorry, the money is really low for Liquid, and they've invested in double AWP. So obviously one of the AWPs was saved, so it's an additional AWP that's been purchased in this round for Liquid, I believe, unless one was picked up, which I'm not sure that it was. Either way, the looks like a run boost peak coming in here. This is to bait out the first shot of the AWPer. And it's very effective in doing so. Also, it closes the distance between the pistol player and the AWPer. Oh no, they failed it. That's unfortunate. And oh, the spray down. So much damage here, but where are the frags? 2 frags finally coming in for Hiko. He's going to double his score there. So we've got adreN in with the first defense, but EliGE fast in the back with the MP9. There are the frags. There is the money. There is the round for Liquid as they go 4-5, and Complexity will have their bye.
Well, well, well. The gap is being reduced yet more. So we'll see where adreN takes the second AWP on the CT side. No AWPs for Complexity. I do wonder if they will go for a fast round. They've got no smokes, actually. Well, they've got one smoke, excuse me, on the T side. So one might expect a faster play, and indeed we've got a fast boost coming in. koosta appears to be on fire, Dan. And oh, sancz gets absolutely wrecked, slamming Surreal as well. witmer will finally answer back, but great shots from both AWPers here. This is an entertaining map so far. Bomb rotating. We've got a fast push through Squeaky as well from Nitro. Could even see the bomb if they're not careful. Or moving over towards B now. Again, no smokes here for the Complexity side. Will make things a little bit more difficult. Bomb coming in, and now adreN's answering with the AWP, leaving witmer alone, and that flank continues from Nitro. So witmer is in quite the pickle at the moment. He's going to achieve Plowman's down. He is getting sandwiched by these CTs.
Wow. Yeah, just witmer left. He's not got the AWP, so no fear. But there are very low players here for Liquid. witmer goes in there for the first peek, and there it is. Producer Reese. koosta is the X factor of that round. And here is the highlight. Oh, yes.
Nice, very nice, Dan.
Producer Reese, he's the X factor. Yes. Yes, give me that overlay. Yes. Producer Reese, you get a bell. Good sir.
You get a bell.
That's team play, that is, James. Watch and learn.
Mano a mano.
Me and Producer Reese.
Standing shoulder to shoulder, Dan.
He's in another room, James. So I wouldn't go that far.
Figuratively speaking.
All right, okay.
Well, we have the T's on in a half buy. There we go. Got it out in the end, Dan. Ooh, we've got trades, we've got flames, we've got bullets, we've got guns, we've got sniper rifles, Tech 9s and P250s, and we have a bomb being planted. Bomb is now planted. We've got dephh on 8 HP. We've got a Molotov onto adreN. We've got HEs flying through. dephh is now dead. No Molotov required, although there is one on the site for the time being. And there is one more to be done on adreN. Can sancz do any more for his team? He can't, Dan. There are bodies strewn all over the place.
All that fire really makes me think about barbecues, and I haven't had a barbecue this year yet, in any sense. Who wants to invite me to their barbecue? Is it you, James? You do not look like a guy who has barbecues.
I had a barbecue once, Dan, and we broke into a building site, and we got some bricks and like some corrugated iron thing or whatever it was. I don't even know. And we had the worst barbecue of all time.
I don't want to break any laws to have a crap barbecue, James.
Undercooked sausages, Dan.
So you even had a trip to the hospital as well. Great.
It was the worst barbecue you will ever see.
Well, definitely not having a barbecue if you ever invite me to a barbecue. So we've got now double AWP still rolling in on Liquid. They're looking to find much more comfort in the round here. Ooh, nice shot there from adreN. Although he will get traded upon, which is not good. Standing in the flames, though, Hiko will be able to take down witmer. Oh, no! Oh, Hiko! As opposed to the no stars.
Three
he was
stars
previously
after.
on when he team killed his teammate and instead of adding to the round was a liability instead. But now he has created a resurgence. Redemption has been found.
This is quite the comeback, Dan.
Salvation is at hand.
Quite.
I'm going to give him 3 stars for that one, as opposed to the no stars.
Three
he was
stars
previously
after.
on when he team killed his teammate and instead of adding to the round was a liability instead. But now he has created a resurgence. Redemption has been found.
This is quite the comeback, Dan.
Salvation is at hand.
Quite the comeback indeed. 2 AWPs on the side. They've got 2 players around the A-bomb sites at the moment. Koosta in a bit of an unlikely angle. Taking 1, taking 2. Can he find a third? EliGE stealing some kills away, but he's still alive on the site. Only 1 player lost, and they should have no trouble picking up the second AWP. Excuse me, 2 players lost. I mean, what was the score at the beginning? 4-0, and now it's 8-5.
It was 5-0.
It was, okay, so it was 0-5, and now it's 8-5 in favour of Liquid. That is a pretty good comeback. That means that Complexity are on the maximum loss bonus, but that's all well and good. But if they still continue to lose rounds, then they can have all the money. Well, they can have all the loss bonus they like, Dan. They still need to accrue rounds at the end of the day when all is said and done.
It's always going to be, at the end of the day, Jay, it's about the score. And score esports. In esports, the score. And right now the score is superior for Liquid, James. They have more rounds than their opponent.
They also have more games than their opponent. And it might be games to match. They make it 16 on this map. Hiko's doing well to try and get them there. 2 players left here for Complexity. They do have the bomb, but they don't have much else going on. Liquid look to commit all their players over towards the B bomb site, but again, it's the T's who have control of the bomb, and they're not trapped. Therefore, koosta will have to remain over towards that car position. Considering all the wars we've seen on Cashdown, that car's still in pretty good nick for the time being. EliGE trying to go for a bit of a flick there, but the spray down will be what is required, what is found, what is done, what is executed, Dan.
So do you know what country this map is set in?
This map is set in the country of Chernobyl, Dan.
It's Ukraine, yes. Yes. That's not, well, Chernobyl is not obviously a country.
I was waiting for you to say that.
But yes, it's in Ukraine. The Ukraine. Didn't they win Eurovision or something? I don't pay attention to that, but...
I believe so.
They did indeed. Wait, what was that about Australia? Producer Reese says Australia should have had it. He sounds disappointed, James.
He's a big...
But may I remind you all that Australia is not in Europe, and it's called Eurovision, so get back to Australia. Anyway, it's 1 round left in this first half. And koosta's just styling, getting the parkour on there, the jumps. No assistance required. And there's not, I mean, this buy is really suboptimal here for Complexity. Tech9 on Surreal and Galil on Android X. And there's a lack of nades as well. So they need to really commit here when they use these resources. They need to get something out of them when they throw the utility, because after that, there's no more utility. So there is the what looks to be a mid-take setup. adreN's going to run past the smoke here to try to circumvent that. And he realizes that there's going to be pairs pushing here. Great first shot there from adreN, able to drop sancz and maintain Liquid's control of mid, denying it. So utility expended, players expended in that mid-take, and they don't get mid, James.
Yep, and that is a pretty brutal smoke over towards the squeaky door. They indeed have mid down, and the bomb is kind of wearily moving over towards the bomb side, but they get a pick towards A, which makes things really awkward. They've got dephh over towards Squeaky. So what does the bomb do now? The bomb's on his own. adreN can't take too many risks, because if he loses the bomb, then they lose the round. dephh would be taken down towards A. There goes witmer as well. Now Suen has no idea what's going on. Getting shot through the shutter. And down he goes. So it all falls apart for Complexity, leaving Android with 20 HP and a 1 versus 3. And now it's a 0 versus 3, which Liquid will take. 10 rounds in a row, Dan. From 0-5 down to 10-5.
No, yeah. Rounds that looked really dominant, to be honest. So it's hard to say what's going to happen in the second half at this rate. Like, there's been some moments of greatness from the Complexity side, but generally Liquid, yesterday we were expecting this kind of play from Liquid, basically, where you see a bit more discipline, a bit more structure, where you see the individual skill really come into play. And that's what's happening more today than it did yesterday. And that's obviously very important. I think obviously to some extent you have to credit the Team Caliber yesterday for showing good individual play and striking at a moment when Liquid are off balance in that sense. But now they are definitely looking a bit better, and once they get rolling and they get confident, you can really see that they're basically expressing through their gameplay. We feel like we are a better team and better players than our opposition, and that's really shining through. And in many senses, everyone will agree on that at the moment. So Liquid, with that confidence, can they win the second pistol round? They lost the first one. Now they're going for a B rush.
Well, Surreal decides to stand there with his knife out for some reason. And unfortunately, Dan, that's not going to net him any frags. Although shooting through the smoke, he will find at least one. The bomb's down, and Liquid seems to be getting into formation now as the bomb gets planted for the Checkers area. But how can they hold? What will their post-plant situation be like? We still have dephh over towards the car on A for some reason. He's only just rotating now. I have no idea why. But here we go. adreN and Code trying to hold things down here. Still getting tagged, still getting finished off. adreN is putting in work here. Almost gets a third frag, but Nitro will be the man to do it. Nitro and koosta left versus Android now as dephh gets taken down. And he will be executed as well. I have no idea why dephh was standing over towards car. Maybe he thought he saw somebody over towards A, but there was nobody anywhere near him.
Do you know what this reminded me of a little bit? Like with standing with a knife out there at Heaven and also EliGE. Also had a moment where he's like running to the side, but then stops with a knife out or something weird, and it's not doing anything. It reminds me of when you're playing fighting games, right? And there's like a desync. Do you remember those? Like if you're playing on GGPO or something, and there's like a desync. You just see somebody pressing loads of buttons, but in reality, it just looks like a bot is playing them because not all the inputs are going through, and so sometimes they stop randomly and so on. It's quite humorous, but obviously quite frustrating because it's a desync. But anyway, it is going to be the 11-5 and just the anti-eco going into mid here for the Team Liquid side, or the anti-force buy, as Complexity have invested completely into this one. And off of the mid control that they have and the frags in which they have accrued in the course of this mid take, they can now decide to go for that B split. And it's looking pretty good here, especially with EliGE on the long range frag there into the connector area. So it's just going to be the push onto Android. Surely he's going to get crushed here. He's just got a deagle. This is going to be so hard to deal with. He's got no helmet as well. He's against MAC-10, MP7, AK-47, and Galil. No frags there for him, and the bomb will be planted. The round will be won unless sancz can do something completely out of his mind. But I don't think that's likely. Interesting smoke.
Well, he's suggesting that he's running away to try and bait out some people, but EliGE will be smarter than that, jumping around the corner to avoid the one shot, and he will punish. Dan, he will punish. He will be the bringer of punishment.
He is the disciplinary committee, James. He himself is the entire committee of discipline, and he will apply discipline with punishment.
He's the world police, Dan.
Team America.
Yeah, indeed.
World police. Let's go. America. All right, so here we are. Got another mid take coming in from Nitro, fast in there with the AK-47. And it's a much worse situation here for Complexity. Having forced in the previous round, they are now in a spot where they have nothing. They have to save fully, otherwise they'll have absolutely no money. Nice Molotov there for the great position, I have to say. It's a very nice Molotov, the way that it bounces. I enjoy the arc, the trajectory, what is it called? The geometry is not the right word, is it? No. What is the word? For the angles, I can't remember. Anyway, it's like a pretty clean round here so far here for Liquid. Only losing one player so far. Cleaning up the bomb site, just one left to deal with. And, not much to say here for Complexity. Other than goodbye. We have a tactical, though, it would appear. There are tactics.
A tactical espionage shooter?
No.
Isn't that one of the strap lines of this game? The #1 tactical something or other.
I don't think it's espionage. Don't think there's any espionage really.
That would be the Metal Gear Solid strap. Actually, yeah. I was thinking of tactical espionage something or other. I'm like 3 Metal Gear Solid games behind at the moment. How's that working out for you?
It's good. Having fun. Need to buy. Well, this is not mine. I just found it in the.
You just found it.
Found it in the gallery. Our graphic designer was using it previously. Now I've taken it, James, for myself. If I see something I want, James, I take it. Like these things. Case in point. don't think I broke any laws. Is it stealing? Don't know.
Well, 13-5 is the current score here. Liquid leading Complexity, and really they're taking a tactical pause, but I just don't know that there's much they can do, all things considered.
What are the tactics they need, James? What tactics do they need?
They need people in America rather than Europe, Dan. That's what they need.
Do they need? Okay.
They need people who are not playing with 130 ping, unfortunately for them.
They need visas.
They need visas, Dan. They need visas.
Visas aren't easy to get, James.
No, Dan, they're not. I was in the US Embassy only today, Dan.
What were you doing in the US Embassy?
I was sitting in a chair, Dan, for 4 hours.
Why?
Because I was waiting for an interview, which took less than 1 minute, Dan.
I've been there as well, James. It's not fun. Fun times. Led to believe something's worth it, and well, I don't know. Anyway, we're back into the match, so don't have to delve into painful memories, which is good. I was feeling quite reluctant once I started. Either way, it's the 13-5. Liquid in a very good position. The tactical, the complexity. Will it amount to anything at all? It's time to find out. Liquid also going to have the benefit of that timeout as well as their opponents. So let's see what they decide to run to try to screw over their opposition and perhaps their plans for this round. Nitro playing, kind of doing the, well, I was going to say doing more than the get right there actually, because he's actually going to go straight into the B bomb site. It's not harassment, it's not threatening, it's not pressure, it's straight up just take the bomb site. So Liquid have the B bomb site already, and this is awful because it's a pure reaction here from Complexity, and they've been caught. They've been caught, James, with the step behind the Liquid side. The round's already over.
Is the end denied, Dan?
It would appear so. Liquid playing great.
Splinters on the chin. On the chin.
Yeah, Liquid are playing a great game so far, and they've got a great bank as well now. So they have a lot to work with, and Complexity, they seem to be in the seems to be a bit of a death rattle at this point. Just it's I mean, what do you say? Their position sucks, James. They've got pistols. I mean, they're going to go for a save. They're going to play for overtime, so they can have a better buy in the next round. Instead of trying to force up this round and try to have two crappy chances and just get rounds, they're going to try to go for one decent chance. And I actually like the two crappy chances more because you just need rounds. You need an anomaly. You need that 10% basically to work out for you.
Yeah, I can respect that.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. But because it's going to be so hard even if they win the next round, they have to win. There's no room for error at that point. There's no room for error. And Liquid have been showing themselves to be pretty good individually so far as well as team-wise. Much better showing from them than yesterday.
We need to see though if Liquid will be able to identify the stack. Then we've seen problems from teams in Europe of identifying stacks on cache, where they've run into the stack then, and then they've been launched into the birds. So we'll see if Liquid can avoid that from happening. We're seeing lots of Molotovs flying into the mid area at present. Lurk is starting to emerge towards B, where there is only one player, that is Surreal, holding a bit of a dirty angle with the Deagle. Unable to do anyone. And again, the difficult times ahead for Complexity, but again, Liquid, I do wonder, when you move into sites and it's completely empty, these teams often put themselves in like the best post-plant situation, even before the bomb goes down, since it's empty, you can just go into it straight away. Do they position themselves optimally?
I'm not sure. But EliGE is basically playing Left 4 Dead right now, James. He's playing Left 4 Dead.
Boomer.
Yeah, it's basically like the Boomer just spat on him, and they're all running at him. So good times. The Left 4 Dead versus mode was actually very fun. It's actually pretty cool, I must say. I really enjoyed that. I completed almost all of it on expert realism, which is pretty tough. It takes a long time. Anyway, we have the 15-5 here for Liquid. They are on match point at this point. Hiko is going to go down to the AWP of witmer. Witmer, once again showing that once he gets the AWP, he can be quite prolific with it. Also, android will be on the AWP here, as we can see. Although Liquid are in a position now where they have the time to work with. They can kill another 30 seconds to try to secure some basic map control. But that said, android is going to get a pick there. So the B storage player is down. And at this point, the round time doesn't really matter as much. Liquid just have to take a massive gamble, massive risk. Multiple risks need to be taken by Liquid to get in here. Each engagement is going to be a big risk, because each engagement lost is a massive drop on the percentage chance that they'll win the round. So let's see if they're going to be able to do so. There is a player in the vent room who has been, or rather the vents, which has been pushed into the vent room in Surreal, which is a nice play from Liquid. And I'm not sure if they would have heard that. And it's good to see the complexity of playing a 3-2 setup in this way. This is the best way to play this kind of situation, to be honest.
Oh, no.
Okay.
witmer's just had enough of English people and their blasted pings, Dan. He's had enough. It's good to see a short smoke.
That was amazing, James. He died because nothing. The CTs didn't do anything, James. He literally just shot him in the back. Like nothing happened.
It's like, shut up. I'm tired of your nonsense.
Oh my god.
Well, adreN, can he do any more damage to these CTs? Nice shoulder picking, avoids the shot from andreN, who picks on his own. Surreal will be the one to trade, however. But yeah, I like the short smokes. Always happy to see short smokes. Definitely don't see them enough, in my opinion.
Apparently they're quite confusing, it would seem. Apparently they're incredibly confusing.
Yeah, apparently it causes people to turn on each other, Dan.
Yeah.
To simply turn on each other. Well, 9 rounds behind now are Complexity. The bike is out for Liquid once again. Holding angles, looking for some aggression towards B. The aggression is towards mid, and Surreal will get taken down by a bit of spray. I mean, there are a multitude of sprays that the T's will put in that position. dephh trying to even things out, though. We'll see if he's able to do so. Nobody's holding the normal angles. adreN's moved to a more passive one, so we'll see if dephh chooses to overextend. I'm sure adreN will be checking the angles here, but who's going to win this duel? It is going to be dephh, so he takes one back for his team. witmer going for a few wallbangs there, but Hiko not being taken down. And now it's advantage C. Hiko trying to avoid getting orped through the wall there. And witmer's, one of them, witmer's going to have to reload soon, so we'll see if Hiko tries to punish him for doing so. That said, well, indeed, Hiko will take witmer down, so do wonder if it was on the reload there. We were over towards the other site where the bomb is currently. koosta's managed to pick it up and he's making a run for it, but Hiko's been taken down at the same time, so koosta goes straight back towards the B bomb site. Gonna push his way through the smoke, is he? We've got andreN holding a flash at present. He is over towards CT. We'll see if koosta can make it over. Nice bit of a shoulder peek coming in there, and he will have time to plant the bomb. So koosta versus 2 to try and save it for his team.
Yeah, this is very doable here for koosta. Now there's no nades on the T's. Oh, the CTs, and he's going to be able to get traded in the end by dephh. But it's a very important peek from him to try to get the early pick off. And Liquid will have to wait. They'll have to wait some more to close this match out. It would seem it does feel inevitable at this point with such a strong showing from Liquid and the money that they have in the bank that they would be able to close this one. But we shall see. Perhaps Complexity are going to make the 8 rounds in a row happen. It's definitely a long shot, but everything is doable in the game of Counter-Strike. One of the reasons why it is a great game. But how will things be faring here for the Liquid side on this buy? I mean, it would be quite cool to see just a straight-up set piece from them. I mean, they've had a lot of defaults, they've had a lot of early picking situations. It would be nice to see, if an explosive play wouldn't just catch off guard their opposition with with the change of pace. Likewise, a slow set piece as well, a slow default into the set piece. But actually, this is great. adreN's going to pick off the Surreal, great for Team Liquid at least. He's going to pick off Surreal towards B, applying pressure in that side of the map as his team sets up a play in towards the A side. The bomb is down, it'll be picked up though as the entries come in. EliGE is good on that front. 5 versus 3 situation in favor of Liquid. sancz coming in though, and he's got 1 frag here. He can do more from this position, but it gets critical damage done onto Hiko, but he won't actually be able to finish off the frag. But it's andreN there with the AWP who's able to do some damage. The bomb is now down precariously in the middle of nowhere on the bomb site. Needs to be collected. It will be by Hiko, and he'll get the plant as well, I think. He's being as safe as he can here actually, but going for the plant now, edging onto the plant. And that will be the cue for the CTs to move forwards. And you can see Hiko's just trying to bait them here. adreN finding a great position. adreN could close this round here for the team. He's going to find the side of dephh. 1 more player there. andreN, they know where he is. surely this is going to be the round for Liquid here. Such a hard round to be played by Android versus 3 players. Going to switch for the rifle there. Bomb now down as he switches away at the wrong timing. adreN with the trio of frags in this round to secure it. 16-7, and that's the fast, super fast 2-0 there from Team Liquid. And I think the caliber of team that we expect Liquid to be, they essentially showed their difference right now from Liquid to Complexity.
Yeah, I think Liquid will always have the discipline to take a match like that where, I mean, it's just, I think against a team like Liquid, it's going to be just too insurmountable a task as good as witmer is playing. When you have 2 players with 120, 130 ping, that is a huge disadvantage for Complexity. So hopefully they can sort out their visa issue sooner rather than later, because obviously, again, it's just huge problems there. So we'll have a look at the highlights and see the more interesting parts of this particular map. But again, I don't know that Complexity were ever winning this. I mean, a best of 3 as well. Like if it was best of 1, obviously, the chances would be better. But we already saw this with WinterFox last year when Pit and dephh were.
dephh sounds like the sickest type of wok you can buy.
dephh.
I love woks, James. You can do stir fries.
dephh.
You can just do anything with them.
Great, that's great,
Dan.
Let's get back into this replay.
Okay.
Well, yeah, we saw it with WinterFox last year, and it was just a complete disaster.
It was.
Hopefully, Complexity can get through these troubled times, because it just sucks when you have to do this.
Yeah, I know the Complexity team has made its way to the IMG. What is it called? The IMG
camp
like training camp, yeah, which is there for athletes and so on. It'd be really cool to see that actually happen for the CS team as well. I think it can only be beneficial. To me, that stuff is amazing. So I would love to see that be more prominent in esports, because I think there's a lot of stuff there that they discuss which is very easily never talked about. So anything to do with sports psychology is never addressed or talked about. And this game is incredibly psychological from a huge degree of aspects that relate to performance, from just the general mental outlook in how you interpret yourself as a player, as to the way that you approach practice or your teammates, or the very nature of improving or looking at yourself for the ability to analyze to then feed into improvement. There's so many aspects of the mental game. And that's the kind of stuff that they tend to talk about. They have lots of seminars there. So it's really cool when I saw that.
That was quite a random segue.
What? Was it really?
Yes.
We're talking about improvement of Complexity.
Okay.
And their core team It'd be cool to see their CS team go there as well.
It'd be cool to see them in the country.
That's also true. Oh, yeah, that's also true.
That would be a good start.
That'd be a good start.
I think we are going to close down with the Corsair Rapid Fire Plays of the Week, Volume 2, North America. Whenever you're ready.
Well, first of all, remember guys, csgoleague.com is where you can find all the information for the league. And of course, if you miss any of the scores of any of the matches and you're on the go, you're on the move, if you want to bust out your phone, the low bandwidth option, always good. Can go to your respective app store to find the Score Esports, in which you can find all scores of across a multitude of esports games, not just Counter-Strike, Global Offensive. And of course, most importantly, I would say, the tickets for the SSE Arena at the Wembley Stadium for the ECS finals at the end of June. Bunch of packages there for you guys to check out, to go and visit and gaze upon the spectacle, which is some of the best Counter-Strike or best Counter-Strike teams that are there in the North American and European regions, to the leading regions, discounting Brazil, I suppose, which, well, I mean, you got Jablonowski and they're pretty good, James. They've been playing in North America.
Basically,
so they
buy
count.
tickets for the finals in London.
I think that's a good shout. I think that's pretty much all I have to say.
Okay, you are the host, remember?
Well, you were closing it there.
I wasn't closing anything.
Yeah, you said...
You start talking about Brazil, we're talking about finals in London.
Yeah.
So now you have to do the rest of the show, the bits.
You're just taking out the context again. This guy, so hard to work with. I liked it better when I had Yanko earlier. Yanko's much better to work with. So guys, we hope you have enjoyed tuning in. Of course, we're soon to be over with the regular season time, and soon into the playoffs. Only a few days left of this. So again, check out the rankings to see where things are at if you want to follow your favorite teams. But for now, that's all from me and James. We'll be back tomorrow with more Counter-Strike here for ECS Europe and North America.